we visited to have a first-hand experience of this park that boasts of 7 species of mammals alien to our vegetation zone. And to lead us to see some of what the park holds is Issa Jibril, the park manager and director of wildlife in Bauchi State.
This park has several different animals, including zebra, giraffe, kudu, elands, impala, and blue wildebeest. This is the most known park in Bauchi State because there is a lot of animals here that you see. We have other indigenous animals like monkeys, guinea fowls, rabbits, squirrels, and small antelopes.
As excitement brews, we are hopeful we'll find the wildlife here fascinating. In less than 10 minutes into our journey, we are faced with a blue wildebeest. The blue wildebeest is a large antelope with broad shoulder and a muscular front-heavy appearance. It is a herbivorous which feeds on short grasses. The blue wildebeest usually forms herds which moves about in loose aggregation. Mating season usually begins after the rainy season, and a calf is born after an 8.5-month gestation period. It's truly a wonderful sight that fueled our interest to see the rest of the park.
At the end they die. So that's why we just
As we approach the heart of the park, we're beginning to see traces of the presence of other animals. And standing some meters from where we first saw the trail are some zebras. Zebras are closely related to donkeys and horses and are best known for the black and white striped body, which is said to be unique to each individual, which means no two zebras have same stripe pattern. Zebras are social animals and live in large groups called harems. They have survived their introduction to this park and appear to be doing just fine. Another fascinating sight is that of the giraffe. Giraffes are the tallest living terrestrial animals and largest ruminants. Its chief distinguishing characteristics are its extremely long neck and legs, its horn, and distinctive coat patterns. Also within the park are the eland, kudu, and impala, some of which we couldn't see. The eland, kudus, and impala are species of the antelope, and they are found in eastern to southern Africa. The beauty and serenity of the park cannot be described unless experienced.
A lot of people, maybe the young children, they didn't know, they have never seen giraffes, they have never seen zebra. Even the adults, they don't ever see giraffes and zebra. And this is the only place that you can see such type of animals. The road is not all that good for the tourists to come. And still we need some vehicles, the patrol vehicles, the game viewing vehicles. And we need also to motivate our personnel, especially the rangers who work day and night, to see that this place is secured from these hunters or poachers.
While 6 of the 9 original species introduced here at inception survived, what remains of the rest 3, the oryx, springbok, and red-heart beast, are their skins hung up in the gallery, which also houses guns seized from poachers. With these vast human and natural reserves, Bauchi State should be one of the richest in the country. Sadly, this is not the case, but if the plan by the State Chief Executive is anything to go by, then there might be a fortune waiting to be harvested here.
For example, the new American ambassador has been in Bauchi. Immediately after he arrived in Nigeria, one of the first places he visited was Bauchi State. In fact, I was away in Abuja when he came. He called me from Bauchi, and I asked him why he came to Bauchi without informing me. He said he had wanted to get a first-hand feel of the place without official dome, you know. So I asked him, how have you found the place? He said, very nice, very peaceful, very secure. I said, thank you very much. So next time you're issuing your travel advisory, take Bauchi out of the travel advisory.
Tourism is one of the largest and fastest growing sectors of the world economy, and tourism in Africa is ripe for development. However, the case appears different in Nigeria, as various constraints, including scarcity of infrastructure and deliberate government policies towards developing the sector.
We have, for example, an international airport in Bauchi. From what the experts in the field told me, that Bauchi is easily, the runway is easily number one. Easily, because it's brand new and it has been done very, very well. So far, apart from internal visitors and a trickling of some outsiders, white men, you know, that go to Yankari Game Reserve, the business has not yet picked up. But I'm assuring you that it will, because one of the things in the world today that attracts a lot of tourists, a lot of visitors, is the game of golf. It has caught on very, very well all over the world. And by the time you are able to provide a very, very conducive accommodation for people, and then next to that accommodation you have a fantastic golf course, I think a lot of people will now begin to arrive in Yankari Game Reserve, and the business of tourism will pick up properly.
While over 1 billion tourists seek for places to visit, Nigeria is not considered as one of the top 10 tourism-ready economies in Africa. With the nation experiencing a drop in revenue generation from oil, the tourism sector becomes a point to turn to. Unfortunately, it's one sector that hasn't gotten enough attention from the government. We are hopeful this time around there will be a change of heart, a change of attitude, because there is so much in this sector left untapped. Chris Alems for Eyewitness Reports.